welcome to the stinkiest tier list where we'll be ranking Marvel Rivals heroes based on how garbage they smell. Just note that the characters closest to the left are the highest within their tier. Let's get into it. Adam Warlock is literally the perfect human, so he's gotta smell good, right? I kind of just envision pineapples laced in gold. Chef's kiss material. Magik looks like she low-key reeks of BO. With all her sword swinging, it's inevitable, right? Borderline garbage. When associated with Chris Evans, I personally think Cap would smell like an overabundance of Axe body spray. I don't know why, but that's just the vibe I get. Overall though, Cap seems like he'd be super upset if he went a day without a shower, so there's gotta be a good sniff there, right? Hela is the goddess of death, and she's beautiful for it, but she has to smell rancid, just garbage. Black Panther is sleek and looks like he's well kept, so I'm gonna say he probably smells pretty nice. He's a cat, so he's gonna be licking himself clean constantly. Can't put my finger on exactly what he'd smell like though. Comment if you have an idea. Hawkeye. Oh, I just do not like Hawkeye. I can't in good conscience place him above mid-tier. Hulk is huge and, loves smashy and sunsets, so he probably smells like dog shit. Human Torch probably smells like sulfur and burnt toast, so on the worst end of borderline garbage he goes. Cloak and Dagger are a duo, which means double the stank, but they look pretty crisp, clean, and pristine, so I bet they smell like an ocean spray perfume or some other random earthy scent that Bath & Body Works pumps out every day. Invisible Woman is depicted all preppy looking, so she's definitely smelling like overbearing sunshine and rainbows in Chef's Kiss tier. Unless she's in the Malice skin, then she smells amazing still, but in a hot way and not a preppy bitch kind of way. Jeff is a shark, a land shark, yes, but still a shark. Sharks don't smell good, and Fishy Fin Dude goes in just garbage. Iron Fist seems middle of the pack, probably doesn't smell too bad, but he does a lot of fisting, so still has that nastiness to him. Iron Man, on the other hand, is rich and in a metal, alloy, whatever suit it is, so he probably smells pretty clean and metallic or something. I moved him up a little bit on the good sniffs list. Loki is mischievous but classy about it and dresses the classy part too. He could probably smell like anything he wanted to and therefore could tailor fit his scent to match whatever you want. Chef's Kiss tier. He goes above Invis. Luna Snow is snowy and snow is wet, I think. I don't really want to get into the whole water is wet debate. But she looks good, and I think she'd embrace the water in a way, not like a nasty, fishy kind of way, but putting her on the higher end of good sniffs is probably a good idea. When I think of Star-Lord, I just think of Chris Pratt in his fat phase. I know that's awful, but without bias, basing this strictly in terms of Marvel Rivals, I'd say he smells meh. Probably buys some cheap cologne on the regular and accidentally drinks it or something. Meg is pretty elegant and proper, so he's bound to smell like a classy old man, but not in a bad way, therefore he's in the good sniffs section. Alright, Squirrel Girl. She has to be the stinkiest on the list. Her hair, her squirrels, her buck teeth, voice, all of it just screams nasty. Her breath probably smells like squirrel fuck, and I can't imagine she ever wipes her lips. Garbagiest of the garbage. Mantis has that stank to her as if she's farting and then running away super fast before anyone sees it's her, so it makes you think it's not her, but it totally is. I hope you now have a beautiful new image of Mantis in your head. You're welcome. Mr. Fantastic is married to Invis, so he can't smell too bad since, she smells pretty good. Moon Knight is schizo and likely gets pulled in too many directions to remember to shower. Borderline garbage category he goes. Similar to Jeff, Namor is also fishy, and I just think of seaweed and dead fish and kelp and yeah, garbage. Peni Parker is constantly in a mech, so I'd imagine she smells like week old pizza mixed with dirt and that's just garbage. Borderline garbage, though. I don't have much to say about Psylocke. I kind of get vibes similar to Magik. I just envision lots of BO, but maybe just a hair less than Magik, so I will bump her up a little bit. Black Widow is a feisty one. I'm not a fan of her character. However, I betcha she smells pretty crisp, maybe apple-scented. For sure, good sniffs. Rocket is a raccoon. Raccoons eat garbage. It just makes sense. Scarlet Witch is using chaos magic, which is preventing me from placing her in the good sniffs realm. Chaos magic probably smells pretty rank. Groot is definitely earthy scented, but more on the dirt and roots side of earthy, and not like the Bath and Body Works stuff I mentioned earlier. He's probably pretty meh smelling, not too shabby. Meanwhile, Hawkeye is getting booted to the end of meh because he's Hawkeye. Spider-Man is in a tight suit all day, whipping around with his little webs, causing distress to all Marvel Rivals players, so yeah, he's meh. I don't think he'd be unhygienic, but definitely not smelling like roses either. Storm is a majestic flying electric goddess. It just sounds like she fits Chef's Kiss, but I don't know what smell to associate with that. Punisher irritates me. That irritation is translated to stank rank. Painted face freak Punisher goes to the garbage dump. The Thing is a clump of rocks basically, so he's not offensive smelling in any way. He's just chillin', so he's meh, nothing special. Thor has gone through some phases, and even his skins and Rivals somewhat portray that. He's just a big dude with a hammer, so he's bound to smell borderline trash. Venom is a symbiote and always slithering around, so I imagine a symbiote to smell like rotten applesauce that's been sitting for an eternity with maybe like a splash of blood in there. Winter Soldier is obsessed with doing things again, but doesn't use soap again, he just drops it. Borderline garbage, but on the high end. Doctor Strange will straight up smell magical, and no matter what realistic scent you want to associate that with, it's definitely going to be top tier. Wolverine is a mutant with tons of hair. He's also supposed to be short and kind of rotund. I just imagine him smelling like raw or rotten meat. Well, there's my final listing of smelly beings. Hope you have a new insight into the Marvel Rivals heroes, and hope you enjoyed.